One of the key math standards is being able to manipulate decimals. Now when I say manipulate, I'm talking about the basic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We're going to begin with adding and subtracting decimals. Now, the number one rule to remember is you have to line up the decimals. So I have two problems that I'm going to work out to show you. The first problem, 27.65. We would say this 27 and 65/100. We're going to add 12.3. Now, I can't write 12.3. Some people get these problems wrong because they don't line up the decimals. So the first thing I'm going to do is add my decimal. And now I'm going to write the number. Remember, it's 12.3. So I'm going to now write 12. And now I can add the problem. I'm going to add this just like any other number. So I start here. Well, there's nothing here. It's a 0. I can add a 0 to help me remember, and so now I know what to add. So now this becomes just a simple addition problem. For here, I'm going to bring the decimal down. And we have a solution of 39 and 95/100. For our next problem, 157.652. To this number, I'm going to be adding 49.9. Again, my first step is to line up the decimals. Now I can write the number around it. 49.9. And here we go. Now we're going to add it. Remember, we can fill in our zeros here because they don't change the number since they're after the decimal. So now we simply add. Don't forget, we have to carry here. Bring down that decimal. And there's our solution. Now, I'd like to do one more problem that has the numbers flip-flopped. So in each case, we've had the larger number on top. Well, what if we don't have the larger number on top? So let me use a problem, 32 and 4/10. Now, to this number, I want to add a larger number. Let's say 64.75. Again, we line up the decimals. 64.75. In this case, there's a space on top. That's okay. It's the same process. We just add a 0 there. 0 plus 5. Don't forget that decimal. So when we add decimals, the most important rule to remember is to line up the decimals. Now that we've worked on adding decimals, we're going to be subtracting decimals. The rule remains the same. You must line up the decimal. Here we have the number 37 and 9/100. We're going to be subtracting from it 2.579. Remember the rule, line up those decimals. 2.579. Now, to subtract this, one of the number one mistakes that people make is they just bring down this 9. You can't do that. Remember, what do we put here? A 0. Now, I'm sure you see why we can't bring down that 9. 9 minus 0, or 9 minus 10, is what we're going to do by borrowing. So now we have 9 minus 10, which is 1. Again, here we're borrowing, just like before. So 10 minus 5, we bring down the decimal. And that's how we subtract. Remember, you have to line up the decimals and backfill any zeros.